You would think that after the first time, she would start following the rules. You would think that after the second time, she'd start following the rules. If you have a problem with your GPS bracelet, the first thing you do is call the GPS monitoring service.
I didn't know there was a problem with my GPS monitor bracelet. They didn't call me.
We are on the record in the 13th Judicial District, District Court of Greenwood, 26, State of Kansas versus Jordan Alicia Denny. This matter does come on for preliminary hearing today. Mr. McClendon, I understand you may have an announcement, though.
Your Honor, President Pleader will be waiving preliminary hearing today.
Very well. Because you are charged with felonies, you are entitled to this preliminary hearing for each of these counts. The first felony with which you're charged would be in count 1. In count 1, you're accused of unlawful distribution of the controlled substance methamphetamines. That's a felony. In count 2, conspiracy of unlawful distribution of a controlled substance. That's a felony. Count 3, no drug tax stamp. Also a felony. Count 4, traffic in contraband in a correctional facility, a felony. Count 5, forgery, a felony. Count 6, identity theft, a felony. Count 7, interference with law enforcement officers, a level felony. Count 8, interference with law enforcement, a felony. Remaining count is a misdemeanor, so it is the felonies for which you're entitled to a preliminary hearing. A preliminary hearing is not a trial to determine whether you're guilty or not guilty. Rather, it's a hearing to determine if there's enough evidence to require you to stand trial, or in other words, to be bound over for trial. At the preliminary hearing, you have the right to be present with your attorney, and you would have the opportunity to challenge the state's evidence, to challenge the existence of probable cause for further detention, or in your case, requiring bail as to the felony charges. You would have the right to subpoena witnesses, cross-examine the state's witnesses, and present evidence on your own behalf. A preliminary hearing would apprise you about the nature of the crimes charged and the sort of evidence you would be required to meet if you were to stand trial. If you waive or give up your right to preliminary hearing, there will be no preliminary hearing, and you will be bound over to the district judge for further proceedings. You'll be required to appear at a later date before the district judge for arraignment, at which time you will enter your plea to these felony charges and the remaining misdemeanor. Until that time, you will continue to be obligated to appear under the terms of your bond. Now, have you talked with your attorney about waiving your right to a preliminary hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you need any more time to visit with Mr. McClendon before we proceed?
No, Your Honor.
Do you want to waive your right to a preliminary hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you voluntarily waiving this right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well, the court finds the state of Kansas has waived its right to a preliminary hearing. The court further finds that the defendant has made a knowing waiver of her right to a preliminary hearing after consultation with counsel. Therefore, it is the order of the court that the defendant is bound over to the district judge for further proceedings, and the defendant shall next appear before the court for arraignment. Missy, what do you have available for that?
This case goes to Judge Crum, and it will be July 25th at 9 o'clock.
Miss Denny, I will continue the bond you are on with all existing conditions, and the added condition that you reappear by Zoom before Judge Crum, July 25th at 9 a.m.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything further, Ms. Gillette, from the state that we need to address?
Judge, we filed a motion to revoke bond. There is numerous violations for Miss Denny on her GPS. She had GPS applied to her in March because she was continuing to have contact with Mr. Goodwin. and she's got a past due balance with them. We've been notified that she's not paying for it properly, and they're wanting to take it off of her because she's not paying. She has been offline several times, and at the last one, she was offline for 68 hours and 49 minutes. She has had her bracelet off, and we filed a supplemental report from Green Feather that her battery went off on 6/17/24, and it was still dead as of 6/18. She had another one just this last 24 hours that we filed from Green Feather, with her being considered AWOL on their bracelets. I don't know if she got it back turned on today, but we filed that with the court. I know she's wanting to have contact with Mr. Goodwin, but she's not abiding by her terms and conditions of bond.
My bracelet says
Hang on, do not, Miss Denny, don't interrupt. You'll get your chance.
If she's not keeping her bracelet on, she's not doing the things that are required, then it's hard for me to want to change her bond conditions to allow contact because she hasn't complied with all of the things that have been asked. Ms. Denny has had issues from the beginning complying with her bond and requirements for herself, and she needs to take that into consideration when asking for things, that you've got to follow the court's orders. She has a new case in Sedgwick County for traffic for driving while suspended and vehicle registrations. It says the offense date is April 8th of 2024. It was filed April 19th. And she has a first appearance, and then she was scheduled over to October. Her overdue hold will expire then. I don't know if she went and paid her ticket or not, but she has a first appearance July 8th of 2024 on her new case. So basically, Miss Denny's still out there committing new crimes, driving without a license. And she had the Butler County case that we revoked her for in March, where she was having contact with Mr. Goodwin then.
I was revoked.
Hold on. Remind me, I remember the facts that she was seeing him in El Dorado. What did we do? Revoke her and then a higher bond?
She bonded on a new bond, a $90,000 bond, and you put GPS on her. The update,
$90,000 and GPS?
right. And the updated bond, the updated report from Green Feather is dated June 26th, which is 2 days ago. We filed it yesterday, that her bracelet was still currently dead, and at that time they considered her AWOL and will be trying to recover their equipment from her. The motion that we filed on the 21st had several reports attached to it for being offline, and we attached additional issues with her GPS. She had a critical battery on the 17th. It went off until the 18th. She had communication failure on 5/21 for not being charged. It was a dead battery. She had another one in March, on March 29th. And I usually give them like a 1 or 2 dead battery issue. But, because things can happen that are emergencies, but it's consistent with Miss Denny now that she just lets her battery die. And now it's been for days. And
Okay, well,
My bracelet. It's my bracelet. I've charged my bracelet. I can't. I don't know.
do you need, Miss Denny, do you need time to talk to your attorney in conference private?
Judge, I would like that, just a brief moment, Your Honor.
Okay. So, where are you at this time? Are you at your mother's house?
Yeah.
You live with your mother?
Yes.
And who's your bondsman?
Cheryl.
Cheryl at Green Feather?
Cheryl Dugan from Second Chance.
Say that again, please.
Cheryl Dugan through Second Chance. It's my monitor. I charge my
Okay,
monitor.
wait and talk to your attorney, please. And you live at your mother's, and your mother is at the address that you gave your bondsman?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're back on the record in 24 CR 26, State of Kansas versus Jordan Alicia Denny. All parties as before. The state has just addressed its motion to revoke the defendant's bond, reciting from the motion to revoke as well as an addendum to that motion to revoke. Missy, could I see you for a minute? I started to get you a while ago and then I got sidetracked. Just a moment. All right, back on the record in Denny. Mr. McClendon, your client's response. Does she wish to challenge these allegations and have an evidentiary hearing on them?
If you want to just take a quick oral argument for me, Your Honor, that'd be fine.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Your Honor, she states her monitor stays on the entire time. Green Feather has called her previous when her monitor gets low. She answers these calls, lets them know, gets it plugged in as soon as she can. They haven't called in like, what do you think, Miss Denny? Probably a month or so.
About a month or so. And when they do call, they also call my person that pays my stuff. So
Okay. So she's stipulating that her monitor has not been working, but she's saying it's not her fault. Is that what she's doing, Mr. McClendon?
Yeah, virtually, Your Honor, yes. And then additionally, on the Sedgwick County case, she's already had her bond revoked for that case. When we were here in May for a preliminary hearing control.
Are you saying that's not, she stipulates she's got a case in Wichita, but she's saying it happened after this one?
There was a case in Wichita where she was picked up on driving while suspended in April, and then you revoked her bond already prior in May, and she's already paid off that ticket, and here she is today. She's supposed to go to court on that ticket on 7/1, but again, it's been paid off, so she's no longer going. She has she'd like a request to change an ankle monitor company to use the one her bondsman has. She's willing to pay off any monitor fees she can as soon as possible. She thought they were still being paid. She didn't realize she's delinquent on them. She's pregnant. Her ankles are swelling, so she's going to need to get a new monitor anyways.
All right. When did she get pregnant? She's not supposed to be having any contact with this guy since at least February.
14 weeks, Your Honor. So that put it mid-March. But
Is
again, she's already. Yes, Your Honor. But again, she's had her bond revoked for that issue.
that was my first bond revocation.
Ms. Denny, don't talk. I don't want you to incriminate yourself or anything.
Ms. Gillette, it looks to me like she's posted 3 bonds in this case. The first one was $47,500, February 4th of 2024 through Second Chance. The second bond she posted was March 25th, 2024 for $90,000. And then it looks like she posted yet a third one with Second Chance on April 30th of 2024 for $150,000. So apparently she's had her bond revoked twice now.
Yep. Still can't follow the rules. You would think that after the first time, she would start following the rules. You would think that after the second time, she'd start following the rules. If you have a problem with your GPS bracelet, the first thing you do is call the GPS monitoring service.
I didn't know there was a problem with my GPS monitor bracelet. They didn't call me.
She doesn't go
All
in.
right, does she want an evidentiary hearing or not? Or does she stipulate to the violations but alleges they're just not her fault? We need to bring in the bondsman or the electronic monitoring person.
Can I at least have my bracelet looked at?
Your Honor, I think a lot of that would be dependent on whether or not you reissue a new bond. If you're not going to reissue a new bond, I'd request the evidentiary hearing.
Okay, Ms. Pickett, can you, or Ms. Denny, can you rejoin us, please? Okay. Missy thinks we can do this Tuesday, an evidentiary hearing. And then, is she on probation or corrections right now?
No, Your Honor.
No.
Ms. Pickett, you don't have any officers that you report to?
Yes, Tony Bauer.
Tony Bauer? And what are you on, let's see, he's court services, so what do you report to Tony Bauer for?
Traffic.
A traffic matter?
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you saw him?
I just seen him 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago? I'm going to order that you go see him today for a UA as part of your bond
Yes, ma'am.
and part of your probation.
Well, he's in Butler County, so I see him over the phone. So
You see him over the phone?
yeah, but I can report to any UA place you need me to report to.
Okay, well, you check with Mr. Bauer by phone and see where he can do your UA today,
Okay.
because I want that done within 2 hours.
Yes, ma'am.
You have someone that can drive you legally to wherever he tells you to go?
I can have someone. I can find someone.
Okay. And we'll have a bond revocation hearing. What time, Missy, on Tuesday?
10 o'clock.
10 a.m. And you will need to be in person at the Greenwood County Court.
Be getting in trouble because my bracelet. I got a new bracelet put on
When did you get that put on?
like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, well, apparently it's not working either. So talk to your attorney and then be here in court. And
Well, no, the reason I got a new bracelet put on was because the clip. They even said it happens all the time, and I freaked out and I immediately called up there and I went immediately to there, right? Immediately as that clip had came off, and they said it wasn't tampered with, nothing. And I went there immediately. I called my bondsman, I called Greenfeather, and I immediately went up there. I didn't wait no time, nothing at all.
all right, we'll take all of that up Tuesday.
Well, we'll discuss it Tuesday.
And you said she's how far along on the pregnancy?
14 weeks, Your Honor.
14
She-
weeks?
And obviously, as part of her bond continuance, I'd request that she has some type of third-party contact with Mr. Goodwin to at least notify him of the pregnancy, Your Honor. He has,
No way.
Yes, ma'am.
You were not supposed to have contact. You weren't supposed to have a pregnancy with him during the bond period. So no contact with him. Call Tony Bauer as soon as we're through. Get over there within 2 hours and get a UA wherever he wants you to go. If it's El Dorado, so be it. Hopefully you're not using any drugs while you're pregnant, so that's probably a good thing that you're confident that you don't have to worry about a UA. Let's get a hair follicle test too. I'm ordering that as well. So, Missy, if you could let court services for Tony Bauer know to do that.
Yes, Judge.
Now, that is Greenwood County. Is he out of Greenwood or is he doing that through Elk?
Elk in El Dorado, Butler.
Oh, through Butler County. Okay. All right. Is that a felony case or a misdemeanor? You said it's
Misdemeanor.
traffic? Okay. So it is my case. Okay. All right. Anything else we need to address from either party?
that's from me, Your Honor.
All right. And I think Miss Denny, it goes without saying that if you fail to appear, there will be a warrant.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Nothing further.
Thank you.
We are in recess on this case.